WAP. Good morning, everyone. It's time for our AM Minnesota program. I have in studio, I always got to remember which microphone it is, Peter van Sluis. He is the fair manager of the Rice County Fair. We wanted to remove a week thinking we might be able to get some numbers, but Peter tells me you really don't have any final numbers yet for the fair.
No, just more intuitive how it was. The carnival did slightly less than last year, but nothing majorly less. If considering that we had to shut down early, Saturday we already had to release the poultry and the rabbits because of the heat, and Sunday morning we had to release all the other animals very, very early because it was the veterinarian recommended that we would shut down. And then the carnival shut down early. We did change our parking to free parking on Sunday.
Yep.
And we lowered the price for the Enduros just to see if we can get some people in. But it was so terribly hot. I mean, it was pretty bad. So that was the only bad thing about the fair, because the rest of the fair was actually pretty good. We talked about this, we did a lot of free things this year, which was good. I had a lot of good comments. So people always say, what's a good fair? Well, if the weather is good, if the people are happy, and if we don't lose too much money, then I consider that a good fair,
Well, and the economy being what it is, too, having some extra free things was probably a good move.
Right. And, we can't really make money. We're a non-profit organization. So even if we play in the black and we have extra money, then that goes straight into upgrading buildings and getting entertainment for next year. Believe it or not, we're already booking entertainment for next year.
Well, I'm sure you are.
So last week I kind of took a quiet week. My maintenance crew is still pretty busy cleaning up everything. Now, last week on Thursday, we had Passport to Agriculture. On Friday it was raining, so there was a little bit of delay in cleaning up. But in the next day or so, everything should be back into storage for ready for next year again.
How did Passport to Agriculture go, do you know?
I was not there. Well, I swung by a couple times, but I heard that there were pretty good numbers there. Yeah, so
well,
it's not my event, it's 4-H and
right. That was free too.
Yeah, that was free. That I like the things that they have this combine simulator where kids can pretend to drive in a combine. That was pretty cool. So, and the free food, free corn. So. But so we're taking it a little bit of easy right now for a little while. So
if you were to grade this year's fair, what kind of a letter grade would you give it?
I would give it an A-. But I mean, there were no fights. There was good weather. There was reasonably good attendance, and a lot of people had a lot of good comments. So as I said, a lot of free stuff. That alligator wrestling. So before the fair, there were a lot of people said, "Oh, animal cruelty," but it was more an educational show, and it was very well explained. Alligators in captivity, they don't get a lot of movement, so they need, just like a chiropractor, they need to be stretched, and it looks like wrestling. Well, the one alligator was pretty feisty too, so he was, he was fighting back a little bit. But the show was really, really good. There were 4 shows. We had 2 wildlife safari shows and 2 alligator wrestling shows, and it was free. And there was a really good attendance in the grandstand. So IMCA Old Timers, they did better than last year. They sold more tickets. The truck and tractor pool, it was interesting. I told Molly, my secretary, right, if you leave, please go to the back room and turn off all the equipment, because we didn't want it to keep running overnight and heat everything up. So it was almost 10 o'clock. The tractor pool was still going on, and Molly leaves, and she did exactly what I told her to do. She flipped off all the equipment, so the whole grandstand was without sound. So but that was my bad. I told her to turn everything off, but it was 3 hours and 15 minutes. That was the show for the tractor pool, which was really, really good. So I mean, I was just outside the office and I flipped everything back on again. It was not a big problem, but that was a long show. That was very good. The big air ATV and motorcycle jumping, that was pretty good too. the interesting thing was a lot of people could see that without paying tickets to the grandstand, because you could see those guys jump 30, 40 feet in the air. You could basically see it from anywhere at the fair. So, yeah. And then we had the enduros on Sunday. They were pretty good too. I think it was a good fair. As I always say, no fighting, good weather.
Senior Day.
Senior Day was good.
Terrific crowd.
Yeah, yep. We actually, I got an email from my thermostat in the room. It said, I can't cool this room any further, because we had 150 people in the room that is typically for 75.
Yeah.
So we're already talking about moving it to the stockyard next year. The only thing was no handicapped toilets, so we would have to get some porta potties, handicapped porta potties there. But that is now renovated, so it's a lot bigger, and yeah, it should work out.
Yeah. Well, I suggested that morning.
Right. Did you take the free Ferris wheel rides?
No.
Okay. So that was another nice thing about seniors could.
I was told that every single person from the Emeralds that went to the fair went on the Ferris wheel.
Okay, that is cool. Now the Emeralds, they sponsor the senior day.
Yes.
They pay for the dinner.
Yes, I
So
know.
that was nice. Yeah.
Chicken dinner for 150 people.
Yeah. I think we get a special deal from.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Roaster, yeah.
The Boaster, yeah. So, but it was nice, and we had a good program. We had 2 senior volunteers of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's hard to choose. So.
Got to get more nominations for that. I've always said every single church would not survive without volunteers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So every single church should nominate someone. And I also do believe, Peter, it's just my own idea, that every community in Faribault should nominate seniors. You have 2 from Northfield, 2 from Lonsdale, 2 from Faribault, and then they go to the fair. And then you choose the county-wide one.
Right. Well,
Wouldn't that be cool?
We do invite every single senior facility in the
Morristown,
whole
I
county.
forgot them.
Yeah, we invite everybody.
Oh, I know that.
So, but
But
it's
this way, even if you don't make the county, you're the city volunteer of the senior of the year.
right.
Right?
Right.
It's better to get something than nothing.
Yeah. Well, one was from Northfield this time.
Right,
So that
right.
we were happy, because we do like to. It is very easy to say, oh, it's Faribault, but it is the whole county that is really part of.
Well, I've been here almost 40 years, and I'm going to be totally frank with you. Well, I'll be Gordy, but I'm going to be frank. In all honesty, that's been what the fair has always had to buck. It's a Faribault event, and it's not. It's the Rice County Fair.
Yeah, and we do go. As I said, we do ask for partnerships from a lot of organizations and companies. We did have sponsorship from Northfield, and as I said, we invite all the childcare facilities. There's like 160 or so that we invite all over the county, and senior facilities too. We talk to them. We give them the forms to apply for. Nomination forms for the senior volunteers of the year, but you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So, but talking about water, the dunk tank was a pretty good success.
It was.
The first day, in the first hour, we made over $100. So it was so the 100 people threw balls already. So the cool thing, the law enforcement, they were really cool. They had the sheriff came with flippers, a snorkel, goggles, and a life vest. We had Jane Agardal. She was the volunteer. She had a T-shirt that said "Official Dunk Tank Lifeguard." So we had Keith Allen. He was there, and unfortunately, that was on a Saturday, and he signed up for the first half an hour slot, and then we had 3 slots that were not filled. I said, Keith, you're going to have to stay there for 2 hours, man. And he did. 2 hours. Well, it was a hot day, so he liked dropping in the water. So, but it was very successful. A lot of people just stood in line.
They asked me, and I said, you don't want to put fairgoers through that vision at all. Me in swimming trunks. No. No.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I could not go in the dunk tank because I had to be available to fight fires everywhere. There was not a lot of fires. There was a lot of little things, the people that had questions, or power went out somewhere, or water had a problem, So
Well, all I can tell you is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday were perfect weather days.
yes, and there was good attendance. It was actually for weekdays. It was pretty busy. So again, it's very, very hard to really count how many people were there, because we typically count how much we make on parking, so we know how many cars. But people can come in from anywhere. They can walk in from all sides. If you have a fair that is fenced in and you sell tickets, or you have a counter when they walk in, that's different. But now there are programs out there that they cost about $6,000 per year for the service. They actually go out. You can put a geofence around your map, and then it counts how many people there are by counting the cell phones.
Oh,
you can
absolutely.
find out where did they come from, how long did they stay, how many people were there, and where did they go afterwards. But I don't have $6,000 for that.
Well, maybe some listener listening will give you the $6,000.
Yeah, or maybe between the city, the county, and the chamber. Maybe we
not
can
just the city.
divvy
it's
it
a
up.
county fair. Northfield, Lonsdale, Morristown fair.
Right.
They should all be involved in it.
Right. But I mean, that service can be used for a lot of other things. I mean, how many visitors show up in music in the park, right? Or how many visitors come to a particular other event that we have?
Another thing you could do, and I suggested this many years ago, obviously it fell on deaf ears, but you could have a Lonsdale Day at the fair, a Morristown Day at the fair, maybe offer people from those communities a discount to get in. Or I don't know, it's free to get in, but for parking?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm just thinking of ways to expand the fair outside of Faribault because of this stupid notion that it's not the county fair, it's a Faribault fair. No, it's the county fair.
Well, then we should also have a Northfield Day at the fair.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
you're right. That and because we already have been talking about doing specific a Veterans Day at the fair,
Yeah.
or somebody suggested maybe a Daikin or a Faribault Foods Day at the fair, and have the larger company, if they were to sponsor us somehow, that we can do something. So the thing is, I can give away free grandstand passes. Okay, is that going to cost me? Well, it's going to cost me less income on the grandstand, but it's not a big deal. But free rides would be nice too. But that is really a Gold Star thing. I cannot.
Correct.
Yeah. I cannot. I can talk to Mike Featherston and see what he says, but.
Well, that was very nice that he allowed the seniors to go on the Ferris wheel at no charge.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That was very cool. It doesn't surprise me. I've visited with Mike a few times. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he is great. Yeah.
I mean, just a class act.
Yep.
Anyway, I got to get the opening market report, or Jerry's going to have my hide, and I kind of like my hide. Our Agri-Booster report, a service of Werner Farm Seed Dundas, quality seed or reasonable prices, northlandbuildings.com, and Craig Keller at the Keller Insurance Agency in Nair Street.
Good morning. It's time for the market update here on the Linder Farm Network. I'm Linda Brecky at the studios. Lynn Kettleson, Dan Lemke, and Linder Farm Network at Farm Fest today, tomorrow, and Thursday, and broadcasting the Midday Farm Review. Stop by at the Wick Building, and it'll be a live broadcast of the Midday Farm Review from Farm Fest. September corn down 6, November beans down to 18 and a quarter. Joining us, Christy Van On and Company, Alexandria. Christy, why the pressure on corn, wheat, and soybeans this morning?
Yeah, I just think that we're running out of news. You're adding some participation, some rain chances in there right now, and the 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day forecast just does look like you have better chances of that rain. We need to see those actually materialize, but overall, I think it's just a risk-off feeling. We once again saw a private sale this morning to China for soybeans, so they are committing, they are buying, but it was a very small one, and I think all of them have been rather small. That this market market is just craving one that's a little bit bigger overall. So we're seeing that pressure. Yesterday was a great day, and now we're having that turnaround. We'll see if we're able to stabilize by midday.
And livestock futures today, what are you following? Kind of a mixed look there.
Yeah, absolutely. Same thing as grain markets tried to stabilize, tried to be positive, and just found some selling pressure and have slowly bled lower here. Deferred contracts still a little bit higher for live cattle, and we have some support showing up in front contracts of hogs, but overall just slowly bleeding lower. It just seems like a risk-off day, and the markets are kind of focused on those outside markets. Crude's down over $3, Dow market up over 600 points. That seems to be the one getting attention today.
Thank you, Christy. Christy Van Awning Company, Alexandria. Chicago's September corn 443.5, down 5 3/4. December 466.5, down 6. March down 6 1/4. Soybeans August 1152.5, down 16 1/4. September 1156.25, down 17 1/2. November 1174 1/4, now down 18 cents. September soybean meal down 3.10. September soybean oil down 51. September Chicago wheat 637, down 14. September Minneapolis 685.5, down 9 1/2. Live catalog is 230.92, down 17. October 226.67, down 5. December down 2. August feeder cattle 347.75, down 7. September up 22. August lean hogs 97.75, up 22. October 83.62, down 5. December 74.95, down 40. Join the Linder Farm Network today and tomorrow at Farm Fest at the Wick Building at about 12:20 for free ice cream sandwiches from Lingen Dairy. Come by and taste the best and hear the show each day at Farm Fest, happening now in Redwood County. This is the Linder Farm Network.
Looking for heavy equipment but don't know where to buy? Purple Wave Auction has you covered. Always online and always no reserve. It's your destination for construction or ag equipment ready to work. We even sell semis, trailers, and fleet equipment for your operation. Best part? It's free to join. Head to purplewave.com. That's purplewave.com. Sign up for a free account and start bidding today. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
We've all heard the saying, work smarter, not harder. You're a farmer, though. You're going to work hard no matter what. But what if you could seed smarter? Choose the best genetics and traits for your soil and growing conditions. Make the right agronomic decisions to raise more bushels on every acre. The Peterson name on every bag of seed we sell is backed by our commitment to helping you do just that. Peterson. Seed smarter. Grow stronger.
That's our update on the Linder Farm Network.
AM Minnesota on the Mighty 920 KDHL.
Once again, we got Peter Van Sluis. He is the fair manager of the Rice County Fair. And again, I want to emphasize it is the Rice County Fair. It's not the Faribault Fair. It's the Rice County Fair. It just happens to be in Faribault. At one time, there were county fairs in both Faribault and Northfield, and I believe it was 1937, the county commissioners decided because of the fairgrounds here in Faribault, they would move the fair completely to Faribault, the way I understand it. Peter.
Was before my time. I'm
No,
not
I
sure.
know.
Yep. Yeah.
I tell you, Ron Parker, you got to get, before he sadly leaves us someday,
Pick his brain.
you got to pick his brain because he knows a lot of history of the Rice County Fair.
Orland Andeka, he also from the St. Luke's, he knows stuff from way beyond. You know, because we mentioned this before that in the late 90s, the grandstand burned down.
Yeah.
And it had the...
I remember the fire.
Yeah, it had the office underneath, so lots of stuff just disappeared, you know, paperwork. And so there's no history unless you talk to some of these older people that still can tell you something. But this was funny. There was a really funny little movie clip posted on Facebook about a guy. He said, "Am I really confused here? We have the Faribault, we have the Rice County Fair in Faribault. We have the Faribault County Fair in Blue Earth, And we have the Blue Earth County Fair in, I forgot where that is. Mankato. So am I confused here? We had actually a few times last year, the year before, people that came to Faribault and said, we're here for the Faribault Fair. Well, this is Faribault, but this is the Rice County Fair. Oh, then we've completely mistaken, So, and then we just give them some free rides or tickets for their mistake. So, but yeah, you have to be paying attention to what is where. And then, there's a lot of fairs happening. Interesting enough, the week before the fair, our stage, the Selner stage, was rented out to Ramsey County Fair. And then we had it for a week. And then the last day of the fair, we took it to Olmsted County Fair. And we just picked it up on Sunday. And then normally we have the big bleachers at the infield that hold about 300 people. We rent that from Scott County Fair. But Scott County was at the same week as us, so they could not rent us the bleachers. So there's a lot of shared resources that we use. There's a cow that you can milk, that you can fill with chalky water, and you can milk. And that one is owned by 4 or 5 different fairs, and it travels from one fair to the other.
Yeah.
You have to help each other out. So.
Well, it's the only way you're going to survive.
Yeah.
Unless you're big, like Steele County, obviously the largest county fair in Minnesota.
Yes. Yeah, they have a lot of money. They have a lot of local businesses that sponsor them. And we have a lot of local businesses that sponsor us. And we did pretty good. We did about the same as last year between cash and in-kind services, So, for instance, Francis Pest Control, they come and they spray everything, the whole fair, and they don't charge us anything. So then definitely they get recognized, on the website, Facebook, and they're on the front of the office. We have all the names of the bigger sponsors as well. But we also had EDP, which is a wind and solar generating company out of Texas. They sponsor us really good as well. Because, they're trying to break into the market in Minnesota. So they've been here a few times now. They sponsor us financially, and then they bring us a few people that also volunteer to help out during the fair. So, and we're very grateful for that. We have about 150 volunteers helping out in the fair. It's without volunteers, we can do it.
Nope. I know you got organizations that help with the parking, and the organization gets some funds for that. And
they do. We actually, instead of putting everybody on the payroll, we do stipends. And, if an organization comes, we give, it's equivalent to salary, right? To, I don't know, $16, $17 an hour. I forgot what it was. But, we give that to an organization. And so if it's a church, they use it for mission trips. If it's a commercial, company, they can still get that stipend. And then they can decide to donate that somewhere else under their name, to a nonprofit organization. So
I'm sure that you are willing to listen to people who might have ideas for upcoming fairs, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Is there a comment box at the fairgrounds that they can leave their suggestions or what?
Yeah, so we do have feedback from all our vendors, of course. We do a survey. So trust me, people will voice their opinion on Facebook, and we do read that. And we do respond if necessary. We had some comments on Facebook. They were upset that the sheriff's department was targeting certain kids, and went after them. And I had to explain on Facebook. Yes, they did target certain kids because they were known. The probation officers pointed them out. They were known kids, and they were coming to the fair with water pistols, which are not allowed because they annoy other people. They shoot it at the sheriff's department as well. So then when I explained it to that person who was really upset about the sheriff's department, he said, "Oh, okay, thank you. I did not understand that. So thanks for explaining that." But we take ideas from people. So one thing we talked about is, why is there no demolition derby? And there was a very good article in the newspaper 2 weeks ago during the fair, why we didn't have that. But I really want the demolition derby to come back because it's part of the fair. So we're really going to work really hard to get it back again next year. The other thing that I'm pretty upset about is that we have no more rodeo, and that is very difficult. So the PRCA, the Professional Rodeo Cowboy Association, which is like a union, we're a member of them, and they're supposed to protect us in distance and time, that there's no competition. But Canterbury Downs, the racetrack in Shakopee, they have been doing the rodeo the last couple of years at the same time that we're doing it. And all the good cowboys go there because the purse money is much higher. And then they don't want to come to Faribault anymore because it's, there's nothing in there for them. So unfortunately, that is still up in the air. We've been looking at different options, maybe doing a mini rodeo ourselves with mud busting. And
I was just going to say, you could have an amateur rodeo. Don't have the big bulls or anything, but
right. So the thing is, somebody needs to organize it. It takes a lot of time. So we're always looking for Fair Board members as well. If you're willing to be part of the Fair Board, work hard and get paid nothing, but the satisfaction of doing something really cool. This is the largest event in Rice County, So if you're part of the Fair Board, first of all, if you work really hard and get everything ready during the fair, you're still working hard, but you get your free rides and you get your free grandstand and things like that. So, but it is for me also the satisfaction of pulling it off, and then at the end of the fair, it's bittersweet. So, thank God it's over, but on the other hand, oh, shoot, it's over.
I don't know how you measure the biggest event, because Defeat of Jesse James Days in Northfield is the biggest event in
Are they
Rice County.
bigger than us?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, oops. Well, I do have some presentations from years back, and in there it stated that we were the biggest event, so maybe...
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what you determine that. Number of days, yes.
Yeah, I know. So.
But number of people, Defeat of Jesse James Days is the largest all-volunteer event in the state of Minnesota.
Wow, okay.
So that would mean they kind of
Right.
beat out the fair.
So, well, but this is what we do. We do these big events in the county and in the city.
I've often thought their bank raids are so popular.
What is?
The bank raids at the Defeat of Jesse James.
Okay, yep.
Wouldn't it be cool that they'd open the fair with a reenactment of a bank raid at the Rice County Fair? They come on their horses into the... I'm just thinking out loud here.
No. But there's a lot of other things you can do. And there's by the way, on August 28 and 29, the IMCA Old Timers are back at the fairgrounds, and they're doing 2 days of racing. So, there's other events happening.
Yeah, you got rodeo in there every now and then.
Yeah,
right?
we have... in a week and a half, we have a Mexican rodeo again. We have 3 more Mexican rodeos coming. And
you can tell when they're there because there's some traffic.
There's traffic, and you can hear them anywhere. but fortunately, they actually have their own security people. They hire additional police officers, and they are shutting down before the noise curfew is happening, because they know they have to comply with all the rules and regulations here. Because if people are going to go like, wait, they're a nuisance to the city, then somebody's going to say, well, maybe they should be gone, But I tell you, they're good for the city. They bring people in, and they clean up really good after themselves. So Sunday morning, it's a big mess. There's tens of thousands of beer cans laying around, and at 12 o'clock, it's clean.
And frankly, it's good to see the fairgrounds used for more than just the few days of the fair.
Yeah, because we do have... a big, huge facility. So, of course, we rent out rooms and stuff. Now, twice a year, so the beginning of September, we have the St. Paul Dog Club. They rent the fairgrounds for 3 days. They do it twice a year. It's a regional competition. And they put scents in all the different buildings, and these dogs have to find these scents. And they do other agility competitions. It's a big regional thing, as I said. So, that's what we use the fairgrounds for.
All right, Peter, thanks for your cooperation throughout the fair. Look forward to working, Lord willing, again next year.
Yeah, next year. See you next year, yeah.
Yeah, let's hope
I appreciate it. That is nice of you guys to have me here. So, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. When you get some numbers, we'll have you...
Yeah, maybe.
We'll have you back. I'd like to report on some of the numbers from the fair. That concludes today's edition of AM Minnesota.